A really good day today. I really asked him yesterday. Yesterday I thought that we, I really got after him yesterday. I thought, man, that was kind of a slip back. And then I looked at the film and I went like, dang, that's pretty good practice. And so we talked about the spirit of a champion today. And, and what that is that the difference is that if you come out here with dull eyes, it just seems like practice is dull, right? And we talked about the commitment. We talked about, I used examples of going into their homes and the commitment I made to their parents that they were going to get a degree and that I was going to help them to be the best that they could be, and their dreams of playing in the NFL and being successful, that those were my dreams now. And I can't do that for them if you won't come out here with a victorious attitude every day, because you'll never give victorious effort if you don't have a victorious attitude. So we talked about that. Unbelievable day. Number 90 today was unblockable. His light's really coming on. He's got a chance to be special. I like that. I like the attitude up front. Got a little competition at will linebacker. Christian Sam's, his light's going on, and man, so he's working in and out with the ones there. I got a little competition at corner. Armand Perry is competing right now. They're rotating with Lloyd and with Solomon. So got some competition. I like that. Obviously, competition up front on the defensive line we like. Today we had the spirit of a champion. I like how they work, but we got to have that every day. But so yesterday wasn't as bad as I thought, but it's all about what your focus is. We play in a week, and every practice it might be the practice, the difference between winning a conference game and not, winning the conference championship and not, right? And there's no give-me's. There's nothing given to us. And I know our guys believe they can win and expect to win, but you also have to prepare to win. So we talked about that today, and it was a really, really good practice, and things went very well today. Questions?
Are you trying Edmund out of Devil a little bit?
Here's what we used him as an example today. We recruited Edmund. We said, man, this guy, we beat some big people for this guy. he was really impressive and came in, really kind of struggled to pick it up, and the game was really fast to him. And coming into camp, I thought, well, he'll be a rotation guy. This guy's had an unbelievable spirit every day. Man, he's coaching from the sideline. He's just playing with a passion. And you know what? We found a place for him to play. We just moved him to Devil, made him the starter. And man, we were better today because of it. So, obviously, and then we challenged Tony and those guys. How do you respond to that, right? So he's been probably, Coach Patterson said that they're probably the most improved player in camp to this point. Obviously, you got some of the freshmen like DJ and Smallwood and Christian Sams, Armand Perry, Chad Adams, all have been very impressive. But Edmund's probably been the most impressive guy. So we just put him over at Devil and put his hand on the ground and let's go.
What do you like about him in that role specifically?
Best pass rusher we have out here in camp. Just quickness, explosiveness, and he's powerful enough to handle playing a 7 technique like we did last year. So it gives us some versatility where we can put, there's a vast difference between him and Antonio, and Antonio's going to stand up and play on the end. He's able to play more interior lineman stuff, and that'll help us have that flexibility. Obviously, if you're playing Stanford, if you're playing Washington State, so it's a little different.
Has Matt Hawk had a camp that's made you more confident about that position this year?
Got all the confidence in the world. Coach Patterson was a college punter and played strong safety and punted, but he's been working with him, and he's very, very confident in Matt, and he's got a big leg, and we had some things. Some inexperience things were an issue, which he is much more seasoned veteran now. We should have put him in there and left him or redshirt him or other, so that was not handled the way we should have handled it last year. But Matt's a guy that has tremendous athleticism and has punted the ball really, really well, and we got a lot of confidence in him. Coach Patterson, he's getting the ball off too, and 1.88, 1.89, so you're not going to block that. So it helps our coverage. Gets our coverage out there faster.
How do you feel about your receivers going into this season?
I'll tell you, Ronald Lewis is a guy that's really stood out. Cameron Smith is going to be a weapon. Obviously, I am really tired of watching DJ catch balls. So I said no. You know what I mean? Because it's so hard, because you got to do something with Jalen, and then I think obviously Ronald. And Gary has had a great camp, but Cameron Smith's a guy you got to be concerned about because of his speed. Ronald's a guy that I think from a speed sweep standpoint, and a guy that gives us some things there. So been very pleased with our receiver core development. And obviously Jalen is really developed as well. And then you throw what DJ does, it just makes it. How do you create coverages where you're going to have to go one-on-one, and then as Cameron Smith and those guys to the field become threats, that makes it harder and harder and harder. And then if you put Jalen and DJ to the same side, and you got forward to Mario Richards, who's really coming on and playing. Get Kalen Balaj back. We've got a lot of weapons that we got a chance to really do well. I think the development of our receivers and the development of our tight ends have been kind of a quiet confidence for us.
How's Jalen coming along in kick return?
I don't know. I don't know if he'll do that or not. We'll see. I don't know. He wants to do it. I don't know if he will.
Some of the players have told me about the pictures they put up on their lockers. Can you explain why you had them do that this year?
One of the things, I'm big in we talk about family values. We talk about family all the time. We talk about, you play for the name on the front, but you represent that name on the back. And that, I would never take that name off the uniform because I think it's that important. And I want these players to give me everything they've got and then just a little bit more. And that little bit more comes from two things, your faith and your family. And everybody has somebody that has paid the price for you. Everybody in this circle here has people that have sacrificed so you could be successful. I think the hardest thing with today's athlete is to captivate them, is just to get them to look where they're supposed to look. And so it's something I've done. Always, when I was in college, when I was in training camp, I always had my mother's picture. So I said, I thought of that. I said, if we could just spend 30 seconds a day reflecting on the people that have sacrificed for us to be here, and then go and honor them with how we practice every day, that would just maybe help our focus a little bit more. And I think it just changed the whole atmosphere of the locker room. It becomes a family sanctuary instead of just some locker room at a facility. So it just kind of goes into what our philosophy is, and I want to try to, I like walking around that locker room too, because I sat in most of those people's living room and promised them that these guys would get degrees and that I would do everything I can to make their dreams come true. So it motivates me. So it's just, I really didn't want everybody to know all that because I don't want other people to do it. Because I think it's a great advantage for us because I do think it captivates. I can see how, I'm trying to activate Marcus Hardison, but then when I start talking about Marcus's mother and our conversation and the sacrifices she's made, he just has a different look about him, and it activates him. That's what the core of our philosophy is family.
It's the first year you've done that, right?
Yeah.